Mind Masters. Thank you for joining me by watching my video channel today. My name is Jill Gutnick, and I am really looking forward to releasing this first video series out to the general public and to you because I have spent the last several years developing the curriculum and the theory that supports these lessons, but teaching it exclusively to focus groups and private clients all around the world as I integrate this information into my own experience and way of life. So this is definitely a new platform and a new reality for me, and one that I am absolutely thrilled to be experiencing with your support. So I first want to thank you for possibly letting me enter into your awareness today and to welcome you to the creation of something new alongside with me. That being said, this is the introduction to a series of teachings that I have previously called Ask Yourself These Questions. And I'm making this teaching into a video series now because after developing these questions and using them myself and with my clients, I have seen that questions can create new realities for us. And I want to explain exactly what this means and to show you how to take advantage of this for yourself. So one of the things that I have learned working with people over the last 6 years, and really the fundamental factor that launched my research into this project in the first place, is that most people are living their lives totally unaware of the creative power of the image function of their mind. And instead of feeling free to live a life they want to love, they have become accustomed to seeing themselves and therefore experiencing themselves as being bound to a world of facts, meaning they believe they have become obligated to circumstances and conditions that they assume are not under their control. But what I have found is that whenever you accept your reality using just the evidence of your senses as the proof that you do not have the resources to solve all of your problems or to experience a major or minor change in your life, that you deny the unquestionable mastery that you do have over the development and direction of your life, and that you judge the environment you live in currently with a sentence of always remaining the same. The purpose of asking yourself questions and this video series is to show you that your mind can observe itself and to help you understand how this is the same as saying you create your reality. When you initiate a practice of observing yourself, it will inevitably lead you to recognize the source of who you are. And when you recognize who you are, and when you spend any amount of time contemplating this in a conscious way, you will begin to detect the connections between who you are being and what you see as the images of your reality. And when you start to take an even closer look at those connections, it will drive you to a place where you naturally begin to use the mental and physiological framework of who you want to be as the ideal state of mind for who you are right now. This is where you will establish that alignment between your passion and your presence. Questions can help you make that transformation from observing what you want as a thought to embodying what you want as a reality. If there is something that you want, if there is something that you need, if there is a place that you would like to go, if there is a place that you would like to live, if there is an idea that you would like to explore or create, if there is a very specific type of person that you want to have in your life, you can absolutely create that, because you can create anything you want out of nothing. But you can create anything and everything you want out of what you have already created. And it is as easy as pondering a couple of questions. Physically, questions make new paths in our brain. When you ask yourself questions and then you consider your answers to them, you are taking the information you have stored in your brain already and connecting it to itself in new and different ways. You are essentially just activating alternate thinking patterns in your brain. But the result of this is that you evolve the way you form your thoughts, and this alters the way you form your feelings. And this alteration that takes place in your body and in the mind of your body It works by subtly influencing what your senses pick up from the environment around you. And this, in turn, powerfully affects what you are conscious of being. This means that you become aware of yourself relative to yourself in a more generous or inclusive way. Or you could say that you expand your mind. And when you expand your mind and reorganize the patterns you think in, you are able to place yourself into alternative relationships with people, places, and things. And these are the forms and objects that we enjoy our subjective experiences through. Now, this does not mean that all the objects of your life or each component that you are trying to create as your reality will necessarily conform in exactness to the object image that you have made in your mind. But what it does mean is that your environment will always assume the form that suits its knowledge of itself, and it will use your senses to collect this data. Your senses will always convey or reveal the reality, including the people, places, and things that correspond to the concept you have of yourself. Now, your senses may not be able to tell you the truth about what you really are, but they are always honest in transmitting to you who you think you are right now. And when you begin to deliberately create new situations in reality, you're going to need to question yourself using this information and to really have an understanding of the distinction between using the evidence of your senses to observe who you have become so that you can ignore the evidence of your senses to become who you want to be. Can you replicate exactly a mental picture into a corresponding dimensional object or event? Yes, you absolutely can do that. And we do it all the time, and it's fun and exciting, and it enriches our lives. But you are also going to want to have a thorough comprehension of the type of creation you live most of your experiences fleshing out, and that is the reality that stems from the doppelganger of your image power, which is the power of your impressions. When you fuse the two of these intensities together, images and impressions, what you get is your state of mind, or what you are conscious of being. It's like a metaphor that explains the details of what you know of yourself to be true, and this is what your reality is. So you are always using both types of power, images and impressions, to create your reality, but you can purposely use one or the other if you want to create a specific way of life or something definitive that you desire to be now. Some people are expert at using the type of images that are more like pictures, appearing like inner photographs or moving illustrations in the mind or the imagination, while other people are able to achieve their creativity using the type of images that are represented more in a symbolic way, like word images such as thoughts, or even the bilocation of sights, senses, and feelings. These images, they don't necessarily appear in the mind like a moving or still photo, but they appear in effect throughout the entire body. And the truth is that we all utilize all types of images to create our reality, but you could help yourself by discovering what type of image allows you to solidify the reality that you want to be living in. My ideal in sharing these questions and this teaching with you now is that you will begin to identify yourself as the origin of your reality. And what it comes down to is that I want to show you how to use the image function of your mind. And I want to help you understand through your own experience that the purpose of your image function is all about selecting what you want to reveal of yourself to yourself. Now, there are multiple angles that I will take in this series to help you define reality and create new versions of it for yourself. But one of them that I'm going to spend more time on in the beginning is how to use images, including your thoughts and your feelings, to bring the elements of your future right into your present moment. This transition trains your future self by becoming your current presence. And you can easily do this by asking yourself questions that help you to create new images. Images that imply you are already conscious of being completely fulfilled, with each of your desires fully satisfied and realistic for you. And in doing so, you will become aware of what you are capable of being conscious of being. Do you understand this? Because your reality and your experience and your relationships to people, places, and things are created according to who you are right now. They are not created according to who you were yesterday, and they are not created according to who you will be someday. Your reality begins in you, and your reality ends in you, and there is no way of experiencing the outer perfections and the desirable outcomes that you pursue other than by retranslating the concept you have of yourself. Everything you do or have been doing, if it is not associated with a change in the state of your mind, it is an ineffectual readjustment of the surfaces and not a true change to the quality of your living. Creating your reality isn't a simple slipping from one state into another, which is something you do several times a day depending on what you are doing. It is about amplifying a state of mind or a concept you have of yourself that is so stable and intense that it literally forces out all other states or ideas you have of yourself. So there's a lot of deep and exciting stuff to cover here, and these questions will be a perfect place for you to start testing all of this out for yourself. And once you begin to discover this great and creative power within you, you will become capable of fearlessly asserting the supremacy of the image power of your mind. And when you do this, you will put all aspects of your reality in subjection to it. Your dreams will become your reality. It is absolutely possible for you to do this. So stay tuned to my channel to get this extensive list of questions and to learn everything there is to know about knowing yourself and about creating your reality. Not because I know everything there is to know about you and can teach it to you, but because you do and you can. If I can do this, you can do this. We all can do this.